Hi, I'm Handcrafted by Jodie Lee, and I'm going to show you how to add a glyph today to some of the fonts. So first of all, I've gone to text and I'm going to click on text and write my name, Jodie Lee. What I'll then do is I like to move it across, because when you click on the font option, I like to be able to see the name. If I move it back over there, you can see I've completely covered it over, so I can't see what I'm doing. So I like to move it over. So let's get it over on that side of the page, and let's go over to my system fonts, which is the fonts I've uploaded to my MacBook. I'm going to type in the name of the font Black Sample. This is a creative Fabrica font that I've downloaded. I can do a separate video on that. So I found Black Sample in the system fonts and I've changed the font and I can see it and I'm happy with it over there. But I think I want to change one of the letters at the end. So I've made it slightly bigger so I can see. And as you can see over here, it's listed as Jodie Lee. So I can see that in the layers file, and what I need to do now is I need to ungroup, which means all the individual letters are listed down on the side here in the layers file. And what this means is I can now move each letter individually. What I'm going to do now is I've opened Fontbook on Apple Mac, which is the iOS system, and I'm going to have a look for Black Sample. So I'm just going to type that in the top there because I'm quite low down in the alphabetical order. And then once I've found the font, it'll open it up for me. And as you can see, it shows a preview of the font, and then it will show the repertoire, which is what you need for the glyphs. So if I just scroll down slowly to show you the different symbols it has, as you can see, it's got all the normal symbols in there. But now we've hit the glyphs at the bottom. On this Black Sample font, there's actually quite a few that you can use. It's really good. There are some with a swoosh underneath, and then there are some with a swoosh on the right hand side. And if I can just try and find the other H, it's got a swoosh the other way. So there's lots of options there for you to be able to use. I want the one that goes underneath because of how I'm using my font. So I've clicked the copy button, and I'm just going to go back to Cricut Design Space, and then right click. It has to be blue over the letter, otherwise it doesn't like pasting. So right click, and as you can see, I really wanted that swoosh on the H, but I don't think it's going to work because it's going to hit the G. So what I'm going to try and do is, I've made it a bit bigger. I'll play around with it. No, that's not very good at all, so we won't use that one. I'll undo that. I think I'm going to decide to change it because I don't think that really fits. I did want that swoosh at the bottom, but I don't think it fits. And because of the way that the word is, I could use the one with the glyph at the top, or I could go to the other H, which again, I'm just trying to find it. It's right in front of me as I scroll the screen. I might use this one. So I've copied it again. And then I'm going to go back to Design Space. And I'm going to right click so it's highlighted blue. And then paste it over that H. Oh, I'm much happier with that. There's a little swirl at the top, which gives it a little bit of a flare. And then something lovely at the end. I'm happy with that. I've just got it lined up at the bottom. It doesn't have to be perfect, but again, I love that little swirl, the gap between the G and the swirl, that's good. And because I have to play with these things, I'm going to go and try and find the J. So I've managed to find the J eventually. I was looking for a capital. They haven't got one, so I'll copy the small J and I'll go over to my Design Space. I don't want to lose that capital J because I'm not sure yet. So I've pasted that J onto the screen, made it a bit bigger so that it matches the font that's already there. And then because it's turned the wrap on, I'll just quickly turn that off because it does do that sometimes to the fonts. Turned off the wrap, which means the box is tight around the letter, and then I'll just pop it up. No, I don't like that. As soon as I put it up there, I think it looks odd against when there's other letters that are capitals. So having played around with it a little bit, I mean, it doesn't really match the L. So I think I'm going to go back to my J and try and position it as best I can. Just get it a little bit tighter to the O. So once I've got that where I want it back next to the O, I'm going to highlight all of the words because, again, all the letters are still ungrouped, so each letter is in its own right an image / text. So I've grouped them all back together again, which means they are joined up. So because I'm happy with all that, I'm going to get rid of her at the bottom. I don't need her anymore. Let's delete her off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in a bit for you because I want to show you that even though we've grouped the letters back together, there is still a small line that separates each letter. This is because the letters haven't been either welded or united together. You can move all the letters at the same time because they're grouped, but this slight line here will mean that when you cut, it will cut them separately. The Cricut will think that that's a cut line. So the options down over combine, there is unite or there's weld. They both do a very similar action, but unite, the difference between unite and weld is that unite can be undone via the options on the right. Weld cannot. I've just pressed unite to show you the fact that the little lines have gone from between the letters, so the machine won't cut them separately. And in the menu I can click undo unite. So having clicked undo unite, you can see that the little line has reappeared again on the letters. So if I press the combine again and press weld, you'll see that the lines have disappeared, so there's no more cut line. But if you take any other action on the Design Space canvas now, as you can see they're greyed out, you cannot go back unless you click undo. Because I want them all grouped and united together, I'm just going to go back and do unite again and then zoom out to show you the finished product, which I'm really pleased with. That font is beautiful. I hope this helped. You've been watching Handcrafted by Jodie Lee. Hit subscribe and I'll be posting more videos soon.